Somebody that is just an absolute legend in heavy music. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Jamey Jasta.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Always good to see you. Set looks nice.
Thanks, man. I see what I'm so stoked about is the Milwaukee Metal Festival right behind you.
Yeah, we got to get you out there. I know it's tough to choose, right? Rockville or Milwaukee. A lot of people, they're torn this year.
Last year it was on the same weekend as Sonic Temple, but
or weekend after, but still, a weekend away, it's tough because you got to make plans, you got to get babysitters, you got to take off work, you got to maneuver.
You got to maneuver. You're playing Sonic though too.
Yeah, we are. We're playing that Metallica day, that crazy day, which is going to be amazing.
That is going to be sick. That's May 9th. All right, so back to your Milwaukee Metal Festival, man. So this is something that you brought back. That was a thing. It was since '89, right?
Yes, it was legendary. It was a pilgrimage for every metalhead and hardcore dude and punk rocker and rock dude. I mean, they had everybody. They had UFO, they had Slayer, they had Biohazard,
Hell yeah.
They had Murphy's Law, Agnostic Front, but they also had Cannibal Corpse and Obituary, Dark Angel, Death Angel, all the thrash bands, Exodus, Testament. So this was pre Ozfest, pre-Vakin. I mean, it was really the template. It was the genesis of the metal festival.
So this year, I mean, you even stepped it up a notch, dude. Because listen, I've seen Pantera, and we've talked about this over the last year or so. I think I've seen them 3 times in the last year, and every fucking time they're so good. And I was so pumped when I saw Down was headlining. Is that Friday night in Milwaukee?
Yes, yeah, May 16th.
Dude, Down. I haven't seen him in so long. And you know who else is pumped is Matt Brown.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, we gotta get him out there too.
Because we're kind of borderline, love Pantera, super legendary. It's so they're hard bands to compare, but I'm almost more of a Down fan.
That's the thing. Down hasn't played in a long time in the Midwest.
Yeah,
and they've been so busy with Pantera out there just killing it. And I felt like this was a cool alternative to what else is happening out there, because you can't see Down at Sonic Temple, you can't see him at Rockville, you can't see him at even the other one there, Louder Than Life.
Yeah,
we got the exclusive for the Midwest. So
that's cool. And I mean, I think Phil's operating at an all-time high level.
Yeah, it's nice to see him doing well, and that there's a road to redemption for anybody who's been struggling, whether it was with booze or with personal issues. I think we're past all that. Occasionally you'll see it come up where people want to be the moralist, and they want to feel morally superior to someone who's had their struggles or had a bad public event happen or whatever. It doesn't even have to be anything super sketchy. It could be you just have a meltdown. We've had it in the past, where people. I think it was the Marduk. Do you ever hear that?
Who?
It was Marduk. They canceled last year, but people got on their high horse. That was another guy who got drunk on stage and said some questionable stuff, and all of a sudden everybody's the judge, jury, and executioner. But it's nice to see there's a road back. And
well, I mean, it seems like most people get a second chance. I mean, Tim Lambassis got a second chance.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, he fucking blew it, but
I know it's terrible to even laugh about it, but it's
crazy though.
Hurting the dog was a touch too far.
It was way too far. I mean, even if that was the first thing, I mean, let alone, I heard a conversation with you and Randy from Lamb of God, and you were saying, basically, if it was not a cop, he would have definitely killed his wife.
Yeah.
If that wasn't a setup, and if people don't know what we're talking about, it's the man, As I Lie Dying, the lead singer, almost a decade ago, hired what he thought was a hitman, which was an undercover cop, to kill his wife, and ended up going to actual prison.
Yeah, unless you're super involved in dark underworld type shit,
right?
You go to hire a hitman, it's going to be a cop. So just don't do it.
That's that's some great advice, actually. Yeah, I mean, if you're not always about shit, I mean, you should probably not just go looking. All right, yeah, you're gonna find
Right.
Yeah, exactly, the Silk Highway.
Because if it's not already in your circle, it's just going to be law enforcement, and it's going to be a whole bunch of problems. So, but I think society as a whole, we need to get better communication skills, better problem solving skills, and I don't know, figure out a way where if you have to do some tough negotiations and you're hitting a wall and you think your only option might be murder, then maybe we step in with some counseling, with some money, with some funds. I mean, the government's got all this money for all this other crazy shit. How about a fund for when you feel like killing your wife?
Right.
And you don't want to do it, and you're having second thoughts. Okay, that's good. Let's reward you.
Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah, and we got there talking about Down and Phil's sort of like rehabilitation, and every time I see him, dude, he's never wearing shoes, but he sounds fucking incredible, bro. I mean, it's just so there. And so what else is happening at the Milwaukee Metal Festival? Like, take me like behind the scenes. Like what are some of like the goods that are happening like when you're not necessarily staring at a band?
Well, it was like I said on stage every night on the Anthrax BLS Hatebreed tour. We got half a Pantera in the house, and that's what we have at Milwaukee Metal Fest. Basically, with Phil on Friday and Zach headlining Saturday, we got half a Pantera in the house. Yeah. And Phil will be back on Sunday too with his other group Scour, who has a really great new release called Gold on Nuclear Blast Records.
Ooh, I gotta check that out.
Guar 40th anniversary, and we got a surprise, maybe a Guar character that hasn't been out with them in a while. Trying to make that happen. Devin Townsend doing one of his only shows in the Midwest. I'm going to be singing for the SOD tribute.
Dude, that is so sick. Tell me how that came about.
We're just looking for stuff that's not available at other festivals. We're looking to do stuff that's fun and special. And I've been hitting up Danny Loper to do these Thrash Thursday shows with me. And then we started talking, and I said, let me hit up Scott and see why don't we just do a bunch of songs off of Speak English or Die and do the most offensive versions and piss everybody off and have fun. And it's a joke album if people want to nitpick at it still to this day. It goes back to the whole like people trying to be morally superior.
Right.
Hopefully that shit's over.
Now, is that Scott's son on drums?
Yeah, Rev is a killer drummer, man.
Young Dude, that's so cool.
He's jumped up and jammed with Hatebreed before, and
right on.
I'm happy for Scott because he wrote a classic record, and he should be able to go out and play those songs and have fun and not have to deal with drama, and it's going to be awesome.
So, I mean, you're involved in so much stuff. I mean, not just the music festival, but of course, Hatebreed, which, just so iconic and celebrated 30 years last year. By the way, congratulations on that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, Kingdom of Sorrow, the self-titled.
Kirk will be there. He'll come out and do some Kingdom of Sorrow songs at the pre-party.
Oh, that's cool.
That's gonna be the Thursday. And so if you get a 2-day ticket or a 3-day ticket, that show's free. You can just come, show your pass. They'll scan your ticket, and you get in free. And Flotsam and Jetsam's headlining. And that's gonna be a really good time. The pre-party's always really fun. We've had Rob Flynn come out and he did Roots with us.
Oh, that's cool.
We've had Kirk come out and do a bunch of Kingdom of Sorrow songs. We had Rob Dukes do some Exodus. What else? We've had Phil Demmel come out. So I got a bunch of guests planned for that set on the Thursday too. So that's just like an extra thank you to the people who are coming 2-3 days.
I love that. Now, do you ever go back? Do you ever fuck with Ice Pick at all?
No, that was just a studio project, but I'm trying to get that up on Spotify right now.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to do the vinyl.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, we never put it out on vinyl, and
nice.
I was able to get the license for the Hatebreed Perseverance album. So that's after 23 years. That's finally coming out on vinyl. So
that's sick, man.
Yeah, once I got that put together, I thought, I got to do the Ice Pick too.
Now, how big of a market is that with your fans like vinyl?
Oh, we're going to sell tens of thousands of that. It's going to be great. The pre-orders are going to go wild.
Now, do you do like any redesign, like in the sleeve or anything like that to make it like special, or do you just keep it all the same?
I don't think Universal goes for that when they're doing the license. And this is kind of like a new thing that an artist is securing the license. So this one we'll just keep it to the original packaging, like similar to the CD layout, and we'll do new merch bundles with it and stuff. And who knows, maybe we'll get those pre-orders up by the end of this month, or even maybe early next month.
Yeah, I know it'll be dope because I mean, honestly, in the heavy metal world, in just in hard music in general, you're kind of a pioneer when it comes to merch. I mean, like, you've always been on the forefront. You always have like a relevant T-shirt. If there's something cool with the podcast, I mean, is that just something you've always been good at, or is that something that you've kind of developed over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I've always felt like I never had enough black T-shirts. I never had enough wall flags. I never had enough posters. My wife is like basically gonna shoot herself if I add any more over here. I got hoodies. I mean, it's like the bull thrower hoodie's not enough. I need the crew neck. I need the T-shirt. The Entombed long sleeve's not enough. I need the beanie hat. I need the regular hat. I need the flap rim and the flex fit. So it's all about options.
The tank top to lift in. I mean, come on, you did it all, right?
We just reordered the Perseverance tank tops. We just reordered the flags. I mean, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like it, and I feel like when you try to do stuff that you like, it resonates. Whether it's the songs, whether it's the merch, whether it's the tour lineup, any of that stuff.
That's awesome.
And Gene, Uncle Gene, thanks Gene. He's the real pioneer. He's the real forefather of the merch.
So at the festival, at the Milwaukee Metal Festival, is there? I know it's all like indoors, so it's not like an outdoor, the huge Danny Wimmer festival. So it's a little more intimate. Like, how many people go to this on a daily basis?
I think we're going to get upwards of 8,000 across the weekend this year.
Oh, that's sick.
I'm really hopeful.
I like that number. That's a very like punk rock audience, and I mean, to see some of those bands, 8,000 is like, I mean, that's nice, dude.
Yeah, and we have air conditioning, and we have new PA systems. Everybody that went in 2023 and 24 mentioned how clean the bathrooms were, how amazing the vibes were, how everybody was smiling, happy.
That's cool.
I mean, even with the wild, like, satanic bands like Profanatica and the crazy death metal bands like Incantation and Autopsy and Obituary, it's still the best vibe ever. There's no posturing, there's no tough guy nonsense. All just people hanging their heads, having a good time, hanging out. I mean, it was incredible.
So, what'd you think about the last UFC pay-per-view card? You think Pereira lost?
Dude,
Alex Pereira is such a beast. I mean, so now they're saying that he might have been greasing. Like put Vaseline all over. Dude, I don't think so either, man.
I got a lot of love for those guys because they're down in Connecticut by me. They're down in Danbury.
That's right. Yeah, that's where Glover is. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Good call.
Yeah, so they're honorary CTHC, Connecticut Hardcore. So
hell yeah.
I want to see him come back soon, and I think he will. And I think it's good for the sport because a lot of these guys that sit out for so long, like I just put a bet in for never do this, by the way, but I put a bet in for Kevin Holland, IKO, because Gunny's been out. Sorry, Gunny. I love me some Gunny.
Yeah.
I'm sure Gunny, maybe I should hedge and take Gunny by submission because Kevin has been known to, mess up here and there. But Gunny's been out for 2 years, and I think about the guys like that, and I go, man, or no, I think he's fought twice in 5 years. And then you think about guys like Pereira who fighting 2-3 times a year. Those are the guys that excite me.
Well, it's fun, and I think they get in their groove. Like, there's those runs that people do. It's like when Matt Brown was on that run, that 9-fight win streak was exciting, dude. He's fighting 3-4 times a year. You see Alex Pereira fighting, 3-4 times, 5 times a year. I mean, it's, unprecedented, especially as a champion. That guy's a beast. I think there's going to be more to his story before he gets out of there. But I do think the one thing the question I think got answered at the last pay-per-view was I think Alex Pereira may be too small to go to heavyweight.
Yeah, I would agree. I would love to see the John Jones fight, but with the wrestling and the takedowns and the jiu-jitsu, I think we know how it will turn out.
John Jones is a beast at heavyweight.
Especially after what he did to Cyril Gahn.
Yeah, dude. Yes, for sure. Like a baby. Like treated him like a baby. Yeah. So what's next for Hatebreed? I know you guys are doing the festivals, but is there going to be a tour? Because when I was in Nashville, you guys came through and I just missed you. You guys played, what's the name of that venue?
Oh, the Marathon Music Works.
Dude,
Great venue.
I saw Newfound Glory there last summer, and I hadn't seen those guys in so long. And I grew up with them in South Florida, and I was like, dude, this venue is so badass.
It's great. I wish we would go there more. We had one of the best shows on that Hatebreed Shadows Fall Dying Fetus tour like 10 years ago was that Marathon, and it's just so booked up. It's so solidly booked throughout the year that if you can't get that hold, and you want to try to get Thursday or Friday or Saturday, obviously, but there's Nashville's turning into like New York, LA at this point where they're just
crazy.
There's shows every night.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we might need a Hatebreed honky tonk on Broadway. I mean, just think about it. Jelly opened up his place. It's just something to think about, bro. I know you like to branch out.
I did think about doing a residency in Nashville just because there's so many metal people and rock people living there.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I even pitched it to Wolf from Accept.
Okay.
On the podcast, I was like, dude, you're right there, and I'm like an hour and a half flight away. Because I do Thrash Thursdays. I do a residency in Connecticut, and I have 10 booked.
Oh, that's
for
cool.
The rest of the year, once a month.
Yeah.
And I probably could pull it off in Nashville, but make it more accessible to all rock and metal heads. Like, it doesn't have to be just thrash. We can do the classics. We can do Judas Priest, Slayer, Metallica. And kind of like Steel Panther, but with heavier selections.
So I don't know if you know about this, but on Broadway, the pizza place, the Mellow Mushroom?
Yeah.
So they do Metal Mondays, and they have a band that has a menu, bro. It's so crazy. They do like 50 songs. And so you just pick the song, you obviously pay them, but you pick the songs that you want to hear, and then they fucking play them like right there. The band's incredible, dude. It's so good. So I think they expanded it. I think they do like Wednesdays in Nashville and maybe Friday too. But that was something I would always go to, man.
That's killer. Did they ever have guests come up and jump up with them?
So I didn't see anybody like famous, but they would have people come sit in. And some of the best players in Nashville, you don't even know who the fuck they are. It's just like somebody that's playing, like at one of the honky tonks in Printer's Alley or something. You know what I mean? But like, dude, you find out. It's
so many talented people, and a lot of metalheads are moving there too. Like, I know obviously the big ones are like Lizzie from Hailstorm.
Oh yeah,
and her crew, and then Wolf from Accept, and then also Chad from Newfound Glory, but also Jack from Exodus, and there's a lot. I mean, I think Jay Weinberg from Suicidal Tendencies, he was down there when we were there last time. So, but yeah. If anybody wants to do it, hit me up. We'll see. It could be cool just to do a once a month thing.
Yeah, I'd love to come see your deal in Connecticut too, man. That sounds like fun.
It's fun, yeah. I've sold out the first two. Got one coming up next Thursday with Jason Bittner, who used to be in Overkill, and obviously he's doing Shadows Fall now. They're going out on tour in May with Killswitch. So I got him right before he's headed out on tour. So yeah, and he knows so many. Like, he can do the SOD, he can do Slayer. He can do Exodus, Overkill, Motorhead. So it's just a fun, different thing that we can do while we're home.
I love it, man. Hey, I appreciate you doing the show today. And if anybody wants to go check out the Milwaukee Metal Festival, I definitely suggest it. And that's happening the weekend of, what is it, the
15th, which is the Thursday, the pre-party, to Sunday the 8th.
Dude, I might have to come for the pre-party. That's my birthday, dude.
You should. It's going to be a good time.
I'd love
some
to.
surprises in the set. Flotsam's going to be there. Scott Sun's band, XCOM, Revian, he's going to be there. And then, the following day we'll do the SOD tribute set. But we got a stacked bill. I mean, if there's black metal fans that are tuning in, or if there's just metal fans in general, death metal fans, we got something for everybody.
I love it, man. And also, the weekend before that, you'll be here for Sonic Temple in one of our home markets in Columbus, Ohio. So, dude, we'll definitely all be there.
Yeah, and that thing is stacked. They're calling it like the heaviest day in America, and I I gotta agree. Between Metallica,
Dude, it's crazy.
Mastodon,
Yes.
Acid Bath, Cannibal Corpse. And what do you think? So, I do the different shirts for every show, and the Buckeyes one killed at incarceration. So I think now we got to even do an updated one,
You
right?
got to do an updated one. Absolutely, bro. Yeah.
It said the People's headliner.
Yeah, dude, the one ink
Like,
was so sick. Yes. So I wanted to ask you real quick before you go, what do you think about the move to 4 days as opposed to 3 days at some of these like big Danny Wimmer festivals and other festivals too, but namely a lot of the Danny Wimmer shows.
I like it, especially if you're just going for 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy when people say, "Oh, I'm only going for 1 or 2 bands," but there are people like that.
Yeah.
And there are those niche bands that people only like this one band. And we saw it when we did the pre-party at Rockville. Shout out to Telly and Word Alive. We played with them before, and it's always a fun time. Their audience is young and just hungry for heavy stuff. And we thought, oh, how's it going to be? They're adding a fourth pre-party with like on some side stage, and it was a banger, man. I would say there's like 4 or 5 thousand people over there.
No shit.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
Wow.
at first, I might have been like, oh man, well, how come we're not on the regular fest? But I actually really enjoyed playing the pre-party.
Yeah.
And then, I was home chilling on the Friday, and I was mowing my lawn on Saturday and taking a nap and folding on Sunday while everybody was still down there.
Do you have a hard time like when you get done playing a show like that or any festival or just a Hatebreed show in general? Like, is it hard to kind of adjust the first couple of days when you get back home?
It's hard when you go down there and you see everybody drinking and partying, and the girls are in the bikinis,
Right.
and they're just wiling out, and then everybody's in the lobby, and then you got an early flight out, and you just hear the entire hotel partying going nuts. And I'm just trying to stay sober and trying to stay in a healthy relationship. And so I just mind my business. I'm in and out like Elvis. And listen, some people take real offense to that. They really don't like that. But I got to protect my sobriety, and I got to protect my sanity. And sometimes that involves just getting out of there.
Yep. You got to get the fuck out of there. When it's time, you got to go. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
gotta go.
Yeah.
And my daughter's 26.
Is that right?
And,
oh, man, that's crazy. Wow.
And she knows the deal. Like, she knows dad was wilding out in the younger years. And I'm not trying to go back there.
Yeah.
I appreciate and I enjoy everybody who's able to do it, because there are those people, they can do, like, those sick fucks, they could do one line of coke and never do it.
Those psychos,
those psychos, like they have. Yeah. But for me, one is too many and 1,000's not enough.
Listen, you're preaching to the choir, my friend. I want everybody to go check out everything that Jamey's got going on. I'll put everything in the description below. But dude, from the bottom of my heart, really appreciate you being on the show today.
My pleasure, anytime. And yeah, we got to get you back on after. If you end up going to Rockville instead of Milwaukee Metal Fest, I won't judge you, but then you got to come on and tell me what they did right and what we should be doing, because they're both of their lineups are killing it. I mean, they got a lot of stuff that we would have definitely booked, but I'd be interested to hear your take on it, hear about the setup, hear about the functionality of everything, because we're trying to get Rita there. We're trying to get Dimebag Hardware there.
Oh,
we're trying to get her whiskey there, the Dimebag whiskey. We're trying to get different VIP settings, and we definitely want to cater to the death metal, the black metal, and the hardcore audience, but we also want to branch out and do the stuff like Black Label and Devin Townsend, and like we had Lacuna Coil and Avatar last year, and those were two of our biggest draws.
Yeah.
And those are bands that kind of steer more towards like Sonic Temple and those festivals.
Well, I mean, listen, man, you keep doing what you're doing, and you might be there in just a couple of years. But, dude, I wish you all the luck. And
That's the goal, man. I appreciate that.
you know it. Yeah, absolutely, Jamey. Thanks so much for being on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jamey Jasta.
Thank you, brother. Always good chatting. Appreciate you.